Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 31 August 2023. It's Thursday night, 9 o'clock, time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, which is very important to your sale participation experience, at the very top you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel, all pertinent to what we're doing here. The first is my Primer for Buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. It goes over in great detail how we do things and why every Thursday night. If you watch that, I promise it'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. Next is our FAQs for Consignors video. That is pertinent to you if you're considering on using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection. That video explains how this all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the last link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the ApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important video description, you'll see 3 links to previous videos, then the terms of the sale. Then at the very bottom, the reason you all came. The list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you'll generally see 2 numbers. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the ApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week. However, if you buy a knife purchased to be sharpened, expect it to ship in about 4 weeks. And if you see the word sold in lieu of prices in that far right column, no need to send an inquiry about anything marked sold because it has been bought and paid for by its new owner. Okay, I think that's about it for housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have a pretty healthy complement of leftover knives from last week that are going to be screaming deals this week, so let's get right into it. First up, from Cold Steel Knives. It's so big it won't even fit in the frame, and it's a folder. Yes, this is the Cold Steel Espada XL full dress trim. It'll say in your description, polished aluminum and S35. So you got polished aluminum, bolsters, and end caps. Now this knife has been carried a little and the aluminum shows it, but trust me, these scratches are ultra fine. This would not take much time and much flitz to make look brand new. Out of that handle comes this thing. Yeah, that is a swashbuckling Cold Steel Bowie clip point blade, an S35 VN, 7 5/8 inches in overall length. The handle is 9 5/8 inches long. The scales are polished G10. The clip is right hand tip up only. It is a triad lock knife and it is dead solid. Centering is just about perfect. Condition on this is very near mint, no box. Okay, and again, the fouling in the soft aluminum is very superficial. So these are $333 if you buy a new one from your favorite web retailer. We ran this one last week at $250 Got no takers. Dropped it to $220 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $200 like it is. $235 with an Apostle-P edge. Cold steel Espada XL. Next up, I'm kind of not shocked this one's still here. It's a black class knife from Benchmade, which is a little odd given the knife. It is the 290 BK-2 Full Immunity. A super sweet little gents folder. But I'll get to the catch. Yeah, so sort of an OD green, maybe not OD, hard anodized diamond pattern 3D machined aluminum scale set. All black hardware. Kind of a dark parkerized shorty deep carry clip, axis lock mechanism, blackened stainless steel liners, and a little Wharncliffe blade in a very dark gray Cerakote. Blade steel CPM M4. Ground nice and thinly. 2.5 inch blade. 3 7/16 inch handle. The lockup on the axis lock is stellar. The centering is perfect. The action is as well. The condition, like new in box. Now, I think they're just too doggone expensive. They're $270. Web map pricing from Benchmade. We ran this at $225, didn't sell. Dropped it to $200 for the weekend. Still here. This week, I think we're in the palatable range. This will be a buy. $185 like it is. $215 with an Apostle-P edge on the Benchmade Full Immunity. Next up, another one from Benchmade. Here we go. It is the 940-1 Osborne. Yep, you know what this knife is. Carbon fiber scales, blue hard anodized aluminum standoffs, parkerized Emerson clip, and the legendary 940 blade, this time in S90V, with kind of an acid stonewash. The axis lock locks up dead solid. The action is beautiful. The centering is dead down the middle. Let's inspect this blade. It has not been sharpened. It's fairly broad, meaning not over sharpened at the factory. Nice long tip. Yep. Pretty sweet example. Now here's a great example of retail prices not moving the secondary market. These knives have crept up to a web retail map price of $315. We used to always sell these like in the $220 range when they were $250 or $260 brand new. Guess what? That's still what they sell for. We started it at $240 last week. It didn't sell. We dropped to $225 for the weekend. It's still here. So somebody gets a screaming deal even in pre-inflation dollars this week. $210 like it is. $240 with an Apostle-P edge. The Benchmade 940-1 Osborne. Next up, I've never had one of these make it to a second week. But, you know, there's something new every day. From Protech, we have a Malibu. It's the PVK.MRT.2 PVK exclusive with the textured black handle DLC blade in 3V and the reverse Tonto. So here we go. Beautiful milling on this knife. Grippy texture. Deep carry right hand tip up pocket clip. Ball bearing flipper. And I think you can see a little bit of scuffing in the DLC. Somebody actually used this Protech. Very superficial. It is a button lock ball bearing manual flipper. Works beautifully. Locks up dead tight. Centering is down the middle dead. So let's see. Dimensions 3 5/16 inches of 3V, 4 3/16 inches of handle. So very efficient blade to handle ratio. I'm going to call it near mint in box coating. Scuffs in the blade noted. These are currently in stock at $290 at PVK. We ran this one at $240 last week, didn't sell, dropped it to $220 for the weekend. This week, $200. That'll be the cheapest Malibu sold anywhere, like ever. So $200 like it is, $225 with my edge, the Protech Malibu, milled and murdered. Next up, one remaining Spyderco from last week. This one is the Cutlery Shop exclusive, orange-handled Wharncliffe pair 2. And the blade steel, CTS XHP. Beautiful, functional Wharncliffe that really presents perfectly. It was a great transition from the Spidey clip to the Wharncliffe. It's going to make it not really any taller in the pocket because the hump is still the hump. Okay. So let's see. Lock up, dead rock solid. Action, beautiful. Not quite broke in free dropper, but very close. Centering is down the middle. Condition is near mint in box. And the only reason I didn't call it like new is because there's the slightest of a roll at that tip. If I didn't tell you, it'd take you a month to find it. So let's see. They're out of stock at Cutlery Shop. There are no sold listings or current listings on eBay. I was taking sort of a shot in the dark on pricing. We did it at $240 last week. No sale. Dropped it to $215 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $195 like it is and $220 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory as Spyderco pair 2 Wharnie orange satin XHP. Next up, we have one from the Maniago Knife Makers, or MKM for short. Comes in a nice little Italian flag themed nylon pouch. This one I think is designed by Jesper Voxness, if I remember correctly. Yes. It is the MKM Isonzo. Isonzo. A very familiar theme. Got kind of an interesting, I don't even know what I'd call that blade shape. It is an M390. 2 1/8 inches of blade, 3 3/8 inches of handle. OD canvas micarta scales, a little bronze treatment on the titanium backspacer and the pivot collar. It's a stainless steel liner lock knife, but it's on ball bearings. And I guess you open it with the hole. Clip is going to be deep carry, wire variety, and it is going to be ambidextrous tip up. There is your blade centering. I think that's dead. Lock up. I can make it rock just a little. Very little. Super secure though. Condition on this one, near mint in box. Web retail for these, I think they're so undervalued. $75 to buy a new one. $60 we ran this one for last week. Dropped it to $50 for the weekend. Let's go $40 this week. $40. It ain't going lower than that, boys. $65 if you like my edge on it. That's the MKM Isonzo. Next up, I think we have something of an enigma here, because in certain circles these knives are doing stupid money, but we don't have some important stuff. This is from Pete's Pirate Life. It says PPK. Usually you get a nice box, lots of Pete's Pirate Life swag. With this one, you get a Ziploc and some padding. That's it. And I think that has hampered its value. You also are going to get a cam lock belt clip that you can assemble to the Kydex sheath. Right now it's set up with the horizontal carry straps. Nice sheath, no rattle. Nice thumb brake. And here's the knife. So a great little EDC fixed blade. S35 VN blade, a black wash finish. Blade length is 2 13/16, so almost 3 inches. The handle is 3 5/8. It is milled black micarta, and I'm not sure what micarta. It might be linen, it might be, I don't know. Brass hardware, including some sweet looking brass liners. What does that say? Serial number 565. My eyes are old. So it's near mint, no box. Arizona sold out of these at $4.95. That would be, of course, with the full complement of stuff. The sold listings on eBay are running between $700 and $850. Now, we have this naked one. We ran it at $3.95 last week. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $3.70 for the weekend. Let's do $3.50 this week, and then $3.75 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Pete's Pirate Life PPK. Next up, this is turning into a save me from myself moment. How did this not sell? From K-Bar and Ethan Becker, we have the Becker BK19 Nessmuk. And what color do we call this? I don't know. The coating on the blade is called burnt bronze, so we'll go with that. Anyway, you got a molded sheath with snap retention. Let's see. No rattle. That's just the snap flapping. Thumb brake. Nice. And there is your Nessmuk BK19. Blade length 4 3/16. The blade steel is 1095 CV chrome vanadium. You got some removable scales in ultra mid plastic. And let's see, it's near mint to like new, no box. Okay, these sell for a web retail of $119. We ran this last week at $90, dropped it to $80 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $70. $95 with my edge. Even the sheath signed by Ethan Becker. That's the K-Bar Becker BK19 Nessmuk. And the last leftover knife from last week is from Medford. I got a funny story about this. So no outer box, which is just a corrugated cardboard shipping box. We do have the Medford emblazoned pelican-like container with, you know, lots of padding and stuff, stickers and patches, all that cool swag. And we've got a certificate of creation and authenticity. This knife was built October 14th of 2020. So this is a Medford knife, right? So these are overbuilt, beat them around, real operator tools. And my consignor, as we were talking about where we were going to price this week, he gave me some encouraging advice to wipe off the fingerprints. Well, it's a Medford, for goodness sake. It shouldn't care if it has fingerprints. But I did. I wiped it off. So this is the Medford USMC Fighter Flipper. In a tumble polished raw titanium handle, and then some bronze and purpley anodized titanium accents, including this impact device / lanyard holder at the back. The clip is milled titanium with ceramic ball retention. You do have a lock bar stabilizer device. It's got a flipper, and it actually flips. Nice drop point, swedged and fullered blade in S35VN. Beautifully tumble polished, by the way. 4 3/16 inches of blade length. Nice hollow grind that comes to a pretty thin dimension behind the edge. The handle, 5 3/16. It's really nice in the hand too, guys. It really is. You could make a nice fixed blade out of that profile, actually. So yeah, lockup is right there, and it's perfect, and action is nice and smooth on phosphor bronze. Centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. Condition is, I don't know, I guess we're going to say it's near mint to like new in the inner box. So price of these brand new, they only have Magna Cut in stock right now. Those are $960, which is probably about what these were new. One of the, these 2020 production would have been one of the first S35 knives Medford made. But, you know, there's a new steel out there for $960. We ran this at $650 last week. Didn't sell, dropped it to $600 for the weekend. I'm going to give you this week's price, and it will not drop on Saturday. And it's a steal. $525 like it is. $550 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Medford USMC Fighter Flipper. All right, time for the fresh stuff, and we're going to start it off with our one and only Great Eastern Cutlery offering tonight. You see the red, white, and blue GEC crest. That means it is an Acorn series knife, stainless steel. Model number 990118. It's a Wall Street covered in American elk. Of course it is in Pennsylvania. Looky there, boys. So there is your mark side. There is your pile side. And I want you to check out the match. It looks odd, and then you put it in your hand and you go, oh, oh, oh. It seems to work anyway. I love the way the etch turns up gold on the stainless steel. So closed length is 3 3/4, which is going to mean the blade's about 3 inches long. Triple line bolsters, plain end caps, lockback mechanism, and let's see. Very slight vertical play, as is standard issue with GEC lockbacks. Centering is dead. Condition, near mint to like new in tube. Good luck. Can't find one anywhere. No sold listings, no current listings. Long sold out. Got to be worth $250. $250 like it is $270 with my edge. That's the GEC Acorn 99 Wall Street. Next up, I have a buck in the wrong box. Okay, the box is for a 503 that my consignor has lovingly altered to say 501 because the knife inside is a 501 Squire. What a sweet gent's pocket knife. Melted corners, just slips into the pocket. Oh, we've got like a laminated rosewood set of scales on this one. Nickel silver bolsters. Beautiful snick when you open it. Listen. Yeah. 420 HC, sort of drop pointy blade. And guys, I couldn't find a 501 specific date code tang stamp chart, but it's got one dot on the right side of the 501. I don't know what year it was made. It's fairly current, like in the last 10 years, I would guess. Centering is going to be off to the left as you're looking at it. Lockup solid. Yeah. So we're going to say near mint, wrong box. By the way, 2 3/4 inches a blade, 3 11/16 inches a handle. These are currently available for $70 on Amazon. Let's do $45 on this one. $65 with an Apostle P edge, the buck 501 Squire. Next up is a buck I have never seen before. No box, but it does come in the ballistic nylon pouch. And it looks like you can carry it vertical or horizontal. Inside, a very interesting knife. I think, I didn't measure or compare, but it sure looks to me like that is a buck 112 Ranger handle. But it's not a 112 Ranger. It is a 450, and I think it doesn't have a name. It's just a 450. And usually the 450 pattern was offered in polymer handled cheapies, right? But this has got the full buckness, right? So laminated hardwood scales, brass frame. What makes it a 450 and not a 112 is the almost Spidey-esque blade shape with the raised hump to accommodate a thumb stud in the proper place to make it actually openable. Unlike some of the 110 Anniversary Series knives, because they're way too close to the frame. Anyway. So pretty interesting knife. 420 HC blade steel, 3 inches of blade, rock solid lockup. And the centering, what? It's a dead centered buck. I wrote very close, but it looks pretty perfect this morning. I don't know. What the heck? 2013 production by the Tang stamp. Near mint, no box, unobtainium. Can't find any of the wood and brass 450s. It's got to be worth $60, so that's your price. 60 like it is, 85 with an Apostle P edge, the buck 450. Let's put you back in your little home. Next up, a super cool knife from Lionsteel. Comes in a black box. It must be really cool. I think it is. This is like a fusion knife extraordinaire. Fusion knife, slip joint, modern construction, modern materials. Let's start out with a super attractive milled titanium handle, which is integral in its construction. Look what they've done. The back spring for the slip joint mechanism is part of the integral titanium handle. See how it lifts? Does a nice job. Then it's actually got a pocket clip, which is sort of hidden. You ready the pocket clip by pinching the top of the knife, which exposes the clip to slip under the pants. How about that? And then you got the rest of it. Oh yeah. I've got a Moletta design, spear point blade, sort of a short long pull on both sides. Blade steel is M390. Blade length 3 1/8. Handle 3 15/16. So super efficient blade to handle ratio. Nice walk and talk. This does use an internal stop pin for a closed stop locator. Does not use a kick against the back spring. So the talk at close is going to sound like a stop pin. That thunk. But listen to the snick when it opens. That's nice. About a 7 pull. Nice walk and talk. Perfect centering. Condition near mint to like new in box. These are currently available for a web retail of about $225. Let's do $160 on this one. $185 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Lionsteel Thrill. Next up, we got one from Maniago, manufactured by Lionsteel for Mike Latham at collectorknives.net. What the heck is that? I know what it is. It's a Beerlow. That's what it is. A Beerlow, right. So it's the Euro Barlow series or the Roundhead Barlow series. Titanium bolsters and liners. Natural canvas micarta covers. A Wharncliffe blade. Knife is 3 3/4 closed. Long pull, swedge, M390. Nice sheep's foot. Oh, and what we got over here? Another long pull on the screwdriver and cap lifter. Pretty nice walk and talk. Both tools seem to be centered well. Condition is near mint to like new in box. These are currently available at Collector Knives for $165. Let's do $110 on this one. $135 with an Apostle P edge on that sheep's foot blade. The Lionsteel CK Beerlow. Next up, it is time for some Idaho-made cutlery. The first one is the Steel of the Night, because it comes with everything you see here and nothing more. This is a user large Sebenza 31, and this will be in your inventory as Chris Reeve large Sebenza 31 PJ number 1, because we have another 31 PJ later on. So yeah, There is your show side scale, which has very little wear. Now over here on the clip side, different story. We got some trails. We got some scuffs in the clip. We have a single bright thumb stud. Action is gummy, but I guarantee it's sweet once you get it cleaned up. Lockup is dead rock solid. The ceramic ball lock interface right where you want it. The centering is just about perfect. It would probably, I think it might be a little right, but it's hard to tell because the tip is sharpened asymmetrically. But not, if it's not perfect, it's awfully close. This knife needs about an hour with me to be perfect. But anyway, so the sharpen price I'm going to give you is a full sharpen and spa, because frankly the knife deserves it. Hard to read because there's no birth card, but the date code in the handle scale is D19. Does that mean it was made April of 2019? I think so. Notice no lanyard or post with this knife. We'll say it's excellent. No box. Price of these brand new right now is $500, but they're out of stock. This one, $325, like it is. $360 with my full treatment. That is Chris Reeve Large Sebenza 31 PJ number 1. Next up, our second one from Chris Reeve tonight. There's your box. It says it's a small Sebenza 31 inlay. Here's your birth card. Born on November 16th, 2021. Black canvas micarta inlay. Drop point S45 at 60 to 62. The lanyard and post are still assembled, but not with the knife. On the knife. And here she is. I dig the 31 inlay shape. It's beautiful. And same seller. The show side pretty much unmolested, and the clip has taken a little bit of a beating. Just good character. And there's your blade. Interesting, both of these knives carried a lot, used a little. That factory edge, although never sharp from Chris Reeve, is undamaged, and so's the blade. There is your lockup. Beautiful, rock solid. And this is interesting, isn't it? Free dropper from the factory. Center is perfect. So yeah. Let's see. We'll call it excellent in box, but just because of cosmetics. I'd call it near mint if the clip wasn't so scratched up. Anyway. You know what these inlays cost now? My gracious. They're out of stock, but if you could buy one, they'd be $525 online. Let's do this one at $425 like it is, $455 with a fresh ApostleP edge on that S45 blade. That is the Chris Reeve Small Sebenza 31 Black Micarta. Next up, more awesomeness from Idaho. Let's see. Here's our box. This is a small Sebenza 31 plain, or PJ, plain Jane as we call it. And here's your birth card. Born November 11th, 2020. We've got an S35 VN bladed at 59 to 60 Rockwell, drop point blade, and a plain titanium handle. This one also has the lanyard removed but still intact. And here is your knife. Again, carried a little, used even less. Same consignor, same wear pattern. There is your lock engagement. It's perfect. It's rock solid. Does it drop free? It does. Look at that. It's perfectly centered, nicely ground, thin tip, very long. Great blade. And again, this looks like it might have been stropped or touched up because it's actually kind of sharp. But a pretty nice example with a little honest wear. we'll call it excellent in box. Now the plain Jane small Sebenza is now $4.25 brand new, but of course you can't buy one because they're out of stock. Let's do this one at $3.25 like it is. $3.50 with an TheApostleP edge. That is Chris Reeve small Sebenza 31 PJ. Plain Jane. Next up. Another one from Chris Reeve. The sticker says large Sebenza 31 plain, so it is. This will be in your inventory as Chris Reeve large Sebenza 31 PJ number 2. Here's your birth card. Born May 12th of 2022. Blade steel is going to be S45 at 60 to 62 Rockwell, and a plain titanium handle. Now I think the lanyard is missing. The post is in the box. Just so you know. So there's your show side. Very light wear. And even, well, we've got a couple little trails going on here. Same consignor, same wear pattern, just less of it on this knife. Well, I think it does better than that. There we go. There's your blade. And again, no edge damage whatsoever. There's your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Look at that. Blade centering, dead. You know, that's what, 4 Sebenza 31s, and all the actions are pretty nice, except for the first one that's just gummy. Not that it'll be bad when it's done at all. So pretty good work here. Let's see. We'll say excellent in box. Web price of these brand new when they were in stock, $500 for a large 31 PJ. Let's do $4.25 on this one, $4.55 with an TheApostleP edge. Chris Reeve large Sebenza 31 PJ number 2. Next up, we're going to take a little intermission from Chris Reeve because we got one Leatherman I got to throw in here just because of consignage and keeping everybody straight. So this a Leatherman that comes with the box. Are you kidding me? You got a booklet, you got a liner, you got stuff. I got a baggie that has extra flat blade drivers and the pocket clip, which is not currently installed. And they make such wonderful belt pouches for these Leathermans. And let's see, I got no tools stashed. They're all in the baggie, but you got places to stash them. Here we go. I gotta turn my page. This is the Charge Plus TTI. This is kind of the flagship Leatherman, right? The Charge with titanium scales and an S30V blade, which is apparently unused. So you got that. You got a saw. You got a serrated blade. You got a file. And then you open her up. Got your needle nose pliers with your replaceable jaws. You got tools over here. Scissors. Little tiny screwdriver. I think there might be an extra one of those. Then your like chisel. Come over here, you got your flat bit driver, and I think there's a can opener. If I can get on the nail neck. There we go. Yep. It is like new in the box. The handle is 3 15/16 long. The main blade is 2 15/16. $190 web retail for these. $190 web retail. That's an expensive Leatherman, but won't cost you that. $140 shipped priority mail. $165 I sharpened the main blade. The Leatherman Charge Plus TTI. Next up, the last Chris Reeve tonight. Here's your box. This one's special, guys. Large Sebenza 31 inlay with Macassar ebony covers. Here is your birth card. Born March 23rd of 2022. S45 blade drop point, and then your inlay. Macassar ebony. This knife is going to come with a couple little goodies. An extra pocket clip and a pocket clip fill tab if you'd like to carry it in the slip. It also has the lanyard and bead untied. The post is still in the knife. Then you got your large glove leather slip, I think twice cut once. And here's the stunning beauty. Oh, gorgeous slabs of Macassar ebony. The bead blasted finish on the handle. The gold hardware. Oh my, did you see that? Oh my. Beautiful lockup, it's rock solid. Centering is dead. Look at that long skinny tip. Oh, this knife is near mint to like new in box. I couldn't find a mark on it, but I put near mint to like new just to cover my rear. Beautiful example, guys. It doesn't get any better than this for current Chris Reeve production. So, these are out of stock. Now, the Macassar ebony with standard steel blade has a price of $650. At least they did when these were made. It looks to me like, looking at Chris Reeve's website, that next time they make these, they're going to be $750, which is the price of the Damascus ones that are still left in stock from the last run. So it is, make of that what you want. That's what my research found. Okay. But I think this one was $650 new. Let's do, on this out of stock knife in like new condition, $575 like it is, and $600 with an ApostleP edge. Chris Reeve, large Sebenza 31 Macassar ebony. And that's it for the CRKs tonight. Let's go on to the next one from Rayot. And I've seen this model several times, but never in this configuration. This is the Exo-M in green canvas micarta and a 3V Tanto blade. And I haven't seen one with that clip, and I haven't seen one with that lock. Now the -M is, I think, for mini. It's a smaller Exo, much more carryable. So with the lock engaged, you cannot separate the handle. You pull the lock back, and then there you go. And then you can lock it open, right? So it's a gravity knife, bi-finished Tanto blade in 3V, 3 3/16 in length. The handle is 4.5. It's 2 pieces of titanium hinged, but it's like integral around the back strap, right? Nice, nice checkering. Actually, a very usable knife, guys. Pretty cool, I think. And I hate Chinese knives. Anyway, condition is like new in box. According to the box, it's serial number 3. Now, you can't find the OD green canvas in this model. The only ones available are black. So the OD is out of stock at $285. Let's do $250 on this one. $280 with an ApostleP edge on that 3V blade. That's the Rayot Exo-M. Next up, here's a knife from a maker with whom I am not familiar. Herman Knives, out of Poland, I believe. So in this baggie is all your good stuff. It's a model Sting 268. I don't know if that's the serial number 268. The steel is M398 at 61 Rockwell. I believe those are ones. They have to be, because They write them strangely in Poland because it couldn't have been built September the 44th, right? So those have to be worn. So I think it's 61 Rockwell. All grade 3 titanium stuff. You're going to get a sticker and a cool little tool. I got to show you this tool. This is just the sweetest thing. That beautiful purple anodized titanium tool is your pivot adjustment. And really nice. I actually used it. Knife comes in this nylon pouch. This really reminds me of a Grimsmo knife. It is really nice. That sort of bronze anodized blasted titanium has a gorgeous mill pattern. It's not really a sunburst. It's wider at the ends and pinched in the middle. Then we have a clip that follows the theme, but in a raw titanium, right hand tip up. I just wanted to show you some details. The screw heads for the assembly are under the clip, right? So you don't really see the Torx driver heads, but on the other side you see beautifully, almost they look like spun ends, just gorgeous. And then I thought these two screws assemble to the inside of the handle, and those are the, again, finished ends, and those hold the locking leaf in. This is a stainless steel liner lock, not a titanium frame lock. Oh my. You know, some flippers are just better than others, and this is one of them. This is like R.J. Martin stuff right here. Oh, man. Ball bearing pivot. 3 5/16 of beautiful shimmering stonewash, the M398 designation engraved in the blade. So 3 5/16 and then a 4 9/16 handle. It is beautiful in the hand. Lockup is solid. Centering is very close. Sometimes I close it, it looks perfect. Sometimes it looks like it favors the left, but very nice knife. It's like new in pouch. Price of this brand new from the maker to my consignor was $6.90 plus $50 shipping from Poland. So he's got what, $740 in this knife. Let's do it at $575 like it is. $605 for me to sharpen the M398 blade. That's the Herman Knives Sting. Next up, more from Leatherman. Another one that comes with a box. Are you kidding me? Now, not just one box. You may not get the second box I'm going to show you, because the second box just holds some flat bit drivers. So if this doesn't go in a small flat rate box altogether, you probably won't see that box. So you got just some extra flat bits in there. What is it though? What is it, Rob? Well, it's the Skeletool CX, which appears to be a black PVD frame / handle. No pocket clip on this one because it's got a carabiner for belt loop carry, right? So let's get your pliers out. There we go. No replaceable jaws on this one. It seems like that should fold, does it? Maybe not. Anyway. Looks like it carries an extra bit inside the handle. Not sure how you get that out. Maybe that's, I don't know. You have to read. And then when you close it, your blade is accessible. 420 HC. Oh, 154 cm on this one. So yeah. 4 3/16 is your closed length. The main blade's 2 9/16. These are $90 web retail. Let's do this one. And I think you probably had to pay extra for those extra bits. Let's do this one at $70 like it is. $95 with an Apostle P edge, the Leatherman Skeletool CX. Next, we got another Leatherman, and this is kind of the way that you normally see them. Nobody keeps their Leatherman box. Just a sheath. Inside, we have the Wave Plus steel-handled knife, tool. And let's see, 4 inches of overall length. Main blade is over on the other side. It's 2 7/8 inches of 420 HC. You do have replaceable jaw pliers on this one. A full tool complement. There's your flat bit driver. And do we have extra flat bits? You're doggone right we do. Including an extra jeweler's screwdriver. Then you got your can opener. Then your other stuff, scissors. Jeweler's screwdriver, replaceable. Chisel. Locking tools. So let's see. This is like new in box. Web retail on these is $100. Okay. And you can carry your extra bits in there if you like. Let's do 75 on the Wave Plus. Like new. I got there's no box with this one. No box, but $100 if I sharpen the main blade. Next up, it's time for a little run of Victorinox knives. The first among them is this, the Mountaineer. Yeah. How do you know it's a Mountaineer? Because it has a corkscrew. You always need wine at the mountain. In the Alps, of course you do. 91mm chassis, red scales. Main spear point. Secondary pen. Scissors. That and that, as usual. Tweezers, toothpick. Let's see. There is a straight pen. There is a parcel hook. And there is a sewing eye with eyelet. Condition on this one, I'm going to say like new, no box. They're available on Amazon for $50. Let's do 35 shipped priority mail. 65 I sharpen both blades. The Victorinox Mountaineer. Next up, save me from myself. Save me from myself. Here's one I don't have. It's a Victorinox, no box, Pioneer X, limited edition 2022 in the smoke gray A-locks. I got no box, yes. It's a limited edition, annual, no box. So that is what it is. Who cares? Just use it. It's not that much money, right? So you got your 93mm A-locks chassis. Main spear, no secondary pen. You got an awl instead. What would you call that? I would call that an awl. Yeah. It's like a soldier awl. And then you got what makes it an X. That's what, that X, the scissors. All right. Beautiful. So let's see, it is like new, no box. These are actually still in stock on Victorinox's website for $75. This one, $50, shipped priority mail. And then $70 if you want me to sharpen. That is the Victorinox Pioneer X 2022 limited edition. Next up, on the new Soldier platform, we have the Rucksack from Victorinox, no box. So it's got the big 111mm chassis with the matte red scales. What is that? That's a lock, is what that is. I got a corkscrew. I got a toothpick. I got tweezers. I got an awl with a sewing eye. I have a big, long spear point main blade with fingerprints on it. This has been used and sharpened, and there are some scratches in it. Okay? Is there a saw? Yes, there is. There is a saw. The legendary Victorinox saw. That's just oil. Oil and goo. Okay, and then you got those two. As always. Oh, and I didn't show you the blade locks. Watch. Yep, there you go. It's got vertical play, but it's by design. There. How about that? That is the rucksack. We'll call it near mint, no box used and sharpened. They're discontinued, not a stock. They're not making these anymore. It's been replaced in the lineup. Sold listings on eBay between 50 and 65. Let's do 45 bucks on this one. Shipped priority mail, 65 with a fresh edge on that blade. The Victorinox Rucksack. And the last Victorinox in our sale actually comes with a box. It's the Deluxe Tinker in red. You guys all know this knife. 91 millimeters is the length of the chassis. Red scales, tweezers, toothpick, screwdriver. No straight pin, but it does have a hole for one. Parcel hook. All with sewing eye. Main spear. Secondary pen. Skizzers. Pliers. And those two. Whoops. Scissors and pliers and a screwdriver. That is the Deluxe Tinker. Like new, in box, web retail, 68 bucks. Yours for 45, like it is 75. I sharpened both blades. That is the Victorinox Deluxe Tinker. Next up, we have arrived at the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. And it's a beaut. It's from Bark River Knives. It is the Mountaineer 2. In walnut burl handle with black liners and mosaic pins. Comes in your basic sheet. Never been opened. And here's the knife. What a little stunner this is. Oh my. That is 3.5 inches of CPM crew wear. Little shorty aluminum half guard. There is your walnut burl and your mosaics. And your black liners. Condition on this, like new in box. They are pretty long out of stock actually. This would have been, in this configuration of exotic handle stuff, would have been about $280 web retail. Let's do $230 on this one, $255 if you'd like it, with an ApostleP edge. That is the Bark River Mountaineer 2. That's the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Beauty. Beauty. Next up, we got another little Bark River EDC fixed blade. This is the Bravo EDC Rampless with natural canvas micarta scales, black liners, and mosaic pins. It's almost like the same person bought both of these knives. This one has a pancake leather sheath that'll be multi-configurable for carry. You guys know I love the Bravo EDC. I've never owned one. But why do I like it? Because it's a super small EDC knife that's actually a 4-finger grip, not only in the saber grip, but also in the overhand pinch grip. Usually that'll make, on the smallish knife, it'll make my pinky hang out over the back of the horn, but not on this one. I love them. 3V blade, 3 1/4 inches long, 3 7/8 inch of Mike Stewart Coke bottle. There are your mosaics. There's your black liners. It is like new in box, and these are out of stock. Let's see, let's do $210 on this one, $235 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That's the Bark River Bravo EDC Rampless. Next up, I got twins, and they're going to be listed separately as number 1 and number 2. but they're both brand new in box. So I'm going to show you just one of them because they're big and unwieldy. I mean, they are big and unwieldy if you're trying to video them. If you're trying to use them, they're not unwieldy at all. Here we go, guys. It's a cold steel. What? What? I'm going to run out of room. Oh my. Ah. Yes, it's the Gurkha Kukri Plus. And yes, I got two of them. Yeah. Secure X sheath. Removable nylon dangle. Oh my. Okay, guys. Yeah, that is a over a foot of 4034 stainless steel. That's 12 1/8 inches of kukri, and it is not a kukri in name only. That's 5/16 stock, boys. This thing is made, well, it's made to remove limbs from people. And a gorgeous Cray-X handle. Man, you need a handle that has some purchase for a knife like this. Just a beautiful piece of work. I mean, beautiful piece of work. Made in Taiwan, I think you can read. There we go. Gurkha Kukri Plus. What a phenomenal knife. Yeah, so like new in box, web retail is between $200 and $239. One website had them on sale for $200. Can be yours, however, like new in box for $170, shipped priority mail, $210 if you want me to sharpen it. Please don't make me sharpen it. They're not fun. So yeah, $170 like it is. Yeah, I'm going to charge you $40 if you want me to sharpen it. Oh, $210 sharpen. For either number 1 or number 2, they are identical and they're both perfect and brand new. Okay. So let me get her secured and we'll move on. Okay, next up. Got one from Work Tough Gear. Actually, a couple from Work Tough Gear. Oh. The first one is called the Kaviaz. K-A-V. I-A-Z. Comes in a box. Looks like it's been it doesn't look like it's been run over by a truck, but okay. And you get a bag of goodies. You get some cordage, you get a claw, you get a fire steel, there's a patch, yeah. And then the knife. It comes in a fold-over style Kydex. It's got this set up for lefty, but I'm sure, yeah, it can go either way. Just have to undo a couple screws and flip some stuff around. That's a very interesting looking package. And here's the knife. Yeah. So, we got an SK85 blade, read 1085. 11 inches long. It is sort of a harpoon clip with a little recurve and a hand-rubbed satin finish. Blade length is 11 inches. The handle is 8 3/4, and that is black G10 with red liners, and they appear to be removable scales. Get a forward finger choil. That's a big, usable, beautiful camp knife. I will say, I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up, but there is some grind chatter, and it looks to me like the hand rub satin isn't perfect at all angles when you look at it. I'm just going to tell you that. But it's the way it came. Still plenty good looking. So the Kaviaz are out of stock. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $225 and $313. Let's do 200 on this one, like it is. And oh, it's got an Apostle P edge already on it. That's why it says Work Tough Gear Cavias TAP, because it's got my edge on it already. $200. And that was a $40 sharpening job. Oops. All right, that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. It's another one from Work Tough. This is going to be a less expensive knife, but no less cool. Right? Sticker says this is the int'l in satin with wow camo and no choil. Oh, we got our standard Work Tough bag of goodies. Let's see what's in there. I got a little tool. I got a lanyard. Looks like I got a coaster and a cloth. No fire steel with this one, I think. Anyway, another nice piece of Kydex. Tech lock on this one. Oh, a more standard blade grind. We got heat treat scale left on the flats. This is also SK85 or 1085 steel. Bit of a trailing point. 8 7/8 inches. Looks like maybe 1/4 inch stock. Huh, there's some little tan liners in there. So the Owal camo appears to be layered black and brown G10 that's kind of checkered. That's a super usable knife. It's also got my edge on it, by the way. So yeah, 8 7/8, 5 7/16 inches a handle. Near mint inbox, my edge noted. So they're out of stock. There was one sold on eBay. It was a buy it now at $250, and it was a best offer accepted. So I don't know what it sold for, but I guarantee it didn't have my edge on it because I've only ever sharpened one of these. This one can be yours. $150 shipped, priority mail. No need to sharpen. That is the Work Tough Gear int'l TAP. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Go get you some deals, boys.